Well, today I'm joined by someone that, like many people in our church, will be able to say, well, I remember when you were this high. And Richard Baker. Hi, Richard.
Hello, Paul.
Good to see you today. Thank you for agreeing to do this.
Well, thank you for coming.
Let's just go back just a few years and perhaps just tell us a bit about your early life.
Well, I was born in Worthing during an air raid, obviously during the war. And from a very early age, I went to church. My parents were not church goers, but for some reason they packed me off to church Sunday by Sunday with my older brother, I hasten to add. And I remember I was only about 4 years of age. And I was told at the time that I had an angelic face. How things have changed. And for that reason, I think, I was given the job of being a boat boy. It was a high church, so I carried the boat of incense. I didn't really know what I was doing, but I stuck it out. Sunday school was much better. I did enjoy Sunday school, and at the time I could never understand why one of the Sunday school teachers, Miss Gooch, was reduced to tears when she explained the Easter story and the crucifixion of Jesus. Now I do. But as the years went by, I got into my early teenage years, and I was overtaken by boredom and repetition, those two words. I was by that time in the choir, not because I could sing, but I think I made up numbers. And the fact I got 7 6 a month, that was a fortune in those days. But I wanted to leave. I nagged my mum and dad to let me leave. And my mother said, Richard, you can leave so long as you join Worthing Crusader Bible class. And my older brother was then a member and obviously enjoying it and doing exciting things. So I joined Crusaders, and that, in a word, with a small s, was my salvation.
So very much the start of your journey into faith and your relationship with Christ. How did it continue from there?
As I say, we did exciting things. Sunday afternoon services were good, and in those days, we're talking of the early 1950s, well, the mid-50s, we used to cycle there, and it was a boys' group. We would wear our suits and ties, and it was very formal. A very formal service, but it meant a great deal to me. And there was acclaim, there was preaching about becoming a Christian. And I remember consciously putting it off, thinking, well, I'm young, I've got too much to give up. But on one occasion, I remember the date exactly, we were at Whitsun Camp at Wisborough Green in West Sussex. And Herbert Ramsden, no longer with us, the Crusader leader, spoke about Revelation 3:20. And I've brought this illustration along. He didn't have an illustration at the time, but here it is. It's familiar to you, I'm sure. Holman Hunt's The Light of the World, showing Jesus knocking at the door of our lives. And around that fire, on May the 26th, 1956, he explained exactly what Jesus was doing to each one of us. He was gently knocking on the door of our lives, waiting for us to invite him in. So that verse is my all-time favourite, really. In the authorised version, which would have been in the old days, behold, I stand at the door and knock. If anyone hears my voice, I will come in and sup with him and her. And I will come in. And so there and then I invited Jesus into my life. I must confess, at the time I was slightly disappointed because I did expect a clap of thunder or at least a lightning bolt or something. It didn't happen, but I had confirmation that something amazing had happened because 2 or 3 days later, back at school, my friend Mitch said these words mid-morning to me, and I quote what he said. He said, Baker, you ain't not sworn today yet. And I thought, no, I haven't. And hand on heart, I haven't sworn, and Chris will bear me out on this, and anyone else you like to ask. I've never sworn from that day to this. And that is something I could never, ever have done in my own strength. So I realised he'd come into my life and started cleaning up.
So, Richard, many years of being a Christian and walking alongside God, or God alongside you. But what sort of things do you enjoy doing in your spare time?
A lot. Along with Chris, actually. We very much enjoy walking. And a few years we fulfilled one of our retirement projects, which was walking the Southwest Coastal Path in 44 days altogether. We loved that. We enjoy gardening very much. And yes, what else? Oh yes, one thing I particularly enjoy is metal detecting with Paul White, when conditions permit, of course. It's a bit difficult at the moment. Archaeology is one of my passions, I suppose, in life. So anything along those lines or historical, I really enjoy.
So maybe just explain to us now just a little bit about how the COVID situation has been affecting you.
Yeah. I suppose you'd say from a selfish point of view, it hasn't affected us very much. But on the other hand, we are both very aware and conscious of the rest of the world. The misery that this pandemic's caused, the loss of work, income, the loss of loved ones as well. But on the other side, our engagement diary suddenly became empty. Commitments were out of the window. Chris and I take the occasional church service in Wareham. That's no longer possible. And I hinted just now my love of archaeology and history. Well, from time to time I give talks on those very subjects in and around the county. Those again have stopped. But having said that, we've enjoyed the weather, the freedom, the fact that when we were walking around the woods or even the roads, people were so friendly. Yes, they gave us a wide berth, but with a lovely smile and a sort of a good morning or good afternoon. And I think it's had the effect in some ways of drawing people closer together.
So just to finish today, is there a piece of scripture that you would like to share with us?
Yes, Paul. And I think it's a very short verse, and it's one that keeps coming to me since 6 months ago when these conditions were imposed upon us. And it's Psalm 46 verse 10. Be still and know that I am God. And I think that is so applicable for today. I'm sure that God did not cause this pandemic. He knows what's going on. There's a purpose behind it, and I'm sure, looking back in years to come, we will see a reason for it, although at the moment we're looking through a very dark glass. But be still and know that I am God.
Richard, thank you so much for just opening up a bit of your life to us today. That's been great. I probably need to mention, for the benefit of the people listening at home, that the laughter in the background was your wife, Chris, particularly at the point where you said that you had an angelic face. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you.